Happy Friday, everyone. It's Hawaiian Shirt Friday, so I'm rocking my Milwaukee Brewers Hawaiian shirt here, ready to play some Immaculate Grid. Had a good last few games here, so gonna get back into it. Really loving all the comments and the likes and everything. New subscribers, kind of overwhelmed. This is a really low budget production, so I appreciate people tuning in. Once again, it's brought to you by my only sponsor, which is me, author of Baseball's Most Fun Frivolities. Link will be in the description. Let's get into it. Let's play Immaculate Grid. It's just coming up on 6 o'clock here. So I'm gonna get this going and then watch a little baseball tonight. Brewers are playing the Pirates. They closed their run differential from uh pretty bad to still pretty bad. I think it's like at -2 right now after a 14-1 win yesterday. So if you believe in the run differential, it looks like the Cubs are going to take the Central, but we'll see what happens. So anyway, okay, 40 homer season. I should be able to work with that. We got the Padres and the A's up top. They're going to match up with the Nationals and or Expos, the Los Angeles and or Brooklyn Dodgers, or Robins if you prefer, if you really want to go back. That's not going to really match with the Padres though. And then the Atlanta or Milwaukee or uh, or Boston Braves. And this episode is not brought to you by Peacock. They don't give me money. Um, let's see. Let's knock out these 40 home run seasons. For the Atlanta Braves, you got a bunch with Henry Aaron. You've got Eddie Matthews. Both of those would work. You've got one season from Jeff Burrows. You've got Andrew Jones, Chipper Jones, Andres Galarraga, Ronald Acuna Jr. a few years ago, probably again this year. Um, Probably a few people this year actually. You better believe Olson is going to get there, and probably Austin Riley as well. Those guys are nuts. Brewers just played them last series, and it was just like, how do you navigate this ridiculous lineup? Anyway, enough of me complaining about how good the Braves are. David Justice also hit 40 home runs one year, I think 1993. Um, Fred McGriff, Hall of Famer, didn't get to 40 ever, but he would have gotten there in the 1994 season. He had, I think 34 home runs at the time the strike set in. So that would have been his year to hit 40. So of all those people that I just listed, the question is who's going to be the best rarity scorer? I'm thinking Burrows. He just played the one year where he had 40. Um, Javi Lopez had 40 in 2003, which I think is still. Oh no, it's the second most ever for a catcher. I think Salvador Perez broke that in 2021. Um, Murphy would also work. Dale Murphy. He hit 40 in the 1987 season. So that's a ton of options. And I just wanted to list them all so I could convince myself that Burrows is probably going to be the one to go with. Take 0.2%. I think that was a safe bet. We'll see if I missed anyone, but I rattled off a bunch of names, so we'll see how that goes. Uh, Dodgers. I think I can think of three Brooklyn Dodgers who did it, and those are Roy Campanella, Duke Snyder, and Gil Hodges, all in the 1950s. I think Campanella only did it once. That might be the best one. After that, let's see. Mike Piazza would work, Sean Green would work, Cody Bellinger would work, uh, Sheffield would work. Um, I think Campanella is going to be. I mean, there's nothing obscure about a Hall of Famer, but he was a catcher. I think he only did it once. He did win 3 MVPs. I think one of them was like a 43 home run season or something like that. Lock him in, 2%. And then Expos and Nationals. Well, Vladimir Guerrero did it for the Expos. At least one, one or two, I think twice. 99 and 2000, I think you could look that up, and he did that. And then after that, it's Alfonso Soriano did it once. He had a 40-40-40 season, 40 home runs, 40 stolen bases, and 40 doubles. That was 2006. Um, I forget the channel. I think it's either Jolly Olive or Foolish Baseball, but I'll make sure to get that right. But I'll include a link in the description. Had a great video about Alfonso Soriano's 2006 season and how it's a completely forgotten great season, 40-40 season that nobody really remembers. It was just 1 year with the Nationals. Kind of convincing myself that he'll be the best option. Bryce Harper also hit 40 home runs. I'm trying to think, were any other Expos, did any other Expos get to 40 home runs? Like a Lou and Larry Walker didn't with the with the Expos. Galarraga didn't with the Expos. He would with the Braves and Rockies. Um, Galarraga also would have worked down here, actually. Um, all right. I am going to go with, I guess I'm going to go with Vladimir Guerrero. I wonder if Alfonso Soriano would be better. I think it might just be those three, though. Soriano, Harper, and Guerrero. Um, and like I think baseball fans are more or less onto the fact that that the Expos are the Nationals. I don't think uh I think that's a very thin layer to break through. I want to say Henry Rodriguez came close, but didn't quite get there. Um, thinking in the 60s, 70s, 80s. I don't think Olympic Stadium was a particularly homer friendly park. I don't really know about Jerry Park. All right. It'll be interesting to see which of the three I was able to come up with will be the best, but I'm gonna go with Vlad Senior. He takes 24%. So I think that was a little bit of a grid buster, but we'll see if I missed anyone super obvious. Um, I love going with Tim Raines. Let's see how he does here. He briefly, ever so briefly, played for the Oakland A's. I think it was just one season. So hopefully this is a pretty good one. Ooh, he takes 3%. Okay. Well, he played very prominently with the Expos, so I think a lot of people are realizing same thing. Some of these guys, you're just seeing them and you're just like, oh yeah, there's 3% of people have done what I did pretty much, and like look at Reigns' career and been like, oh, look at that, Marlins and Orioles for 4 games, and you know, A's obviously, White Sox. So he made his way around quite a bit. Um, I'm gonna go with. I think Davey Lopes will work here. Pretty sure. Former manager of the Brewers. Takes 1%. Bob Welch also would have worked. Would have been a pretty good one here. Um, A's and Braves. I've done it like 4 times in the last week, and I'm just gonna keep doing it because it's gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep selecting Al Simmons because he checks so many boxes, including this one, and he goes under 0.1%. Played like a season with the Boston Braves. Now that I've like looked at it, I'm not going to forget it. Like it's pretty much most of the American League plus the Reds and Braves. So I'm going to have that in my back pocket. Um, let's see. Padres, Padres and let's see. Steve Finley works for any Western Division team. Greg Maddux will work here. Um, Garvey will work here. Steve Garvey would work. I think people are going to remember that one. Let's see how many people remember that Brett Boone played for both teams. Him and Reggie Sanders. I think they might have been traded for each other. Brian Klesko would also work for this bottom one here. Matt Kemp will work. Craig Kimbrell will work. Justin Upton will work. (0.4%). Cool. So I know Steve Finley will work here, but I think people are that's an easy enough to remember life hack, not life hack. This isn't life. Immaculate grid hack is that Steve Finley played for all the NL West teams. Um, and I came up with a couple other examples. Ooh, how about Orlando Hudson? That'd be a pretty good one. He definitely made his way around the NL West a little bit too. I think he played for these two teams plus the Diamondbacks and Blue Jays, if I'm remembering right. Um, and Garvey will work, but I think that'll be really popular. Maddox will work. I think that'll be semi-popular just because he was such a great player. Um, Matt Kemp will work. I think that'll draw a lot. Hmm. Do, 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 do. Piazza will work. Mike Piazza will work. Just thought of that. He played one season with the Padres. Wonder which one did I'm trying to remember which one I actually wanted to land on there. I think Orlando Hudson was who I landed on. 0.2%. I think I made the right call there. And then for our last trick here, we'll try to get the Padres and Nationals slash Expos. Um, this is interesting. I'm not getting a whole lot that are just like racing to the forefront of my mind here. Um, yeah, because Henderson actually would have worked here. Played the '01 season and like 96 with the Padres, and then played his final season with the Dodgers. Um, but yeah, the Expos are a tricky one. Nationals are a tricky one. Padres are a tricky one. We're bouncing around here. I mean, we can play our game. We can play. Let's see here. Some examples of late '90s where my bread and butter lies. So you've got for the Padres that on that '98 World Championship team. That's a good place to start. You got Kevin Brown, Sterling Hitchcock, Trevor Hoffman. Um, Greg Myers bounced around a lot. He might work here. Fred McGriff was not on that team. Sorry, he was a lot earlier. I just thought of him. Wally Joyner. What if let's see, Veras, Caminiti. I think Caminiti was ever with the Expos. Trying with Sean Berry maybe bounced out there. Um, Rondell White, was he ever a Padre? That seems familiar. I know he was an Expo, and it seems familiar, but I don't have a ton of confidence in that one. So I might struggle here. Let's see, Greg Vaughn won't work. Steve Finley won't work here. Uh, Gwynn obviously doesn't work. So that was the whole '98 well, most of the '98 Padres. I think I forgot the shortstop. Um, that that era of the Expos. I don't know, Mike Lansing, Vladimir Guerrero, Brad Wilkerson, Henry Rodriguez. Um, Austin Hedges, was he ever a national? Not not coming to me with a lot of confidence. Um, other fine gentlemen to play for the Padres. Mark Loretta, no. Khalil Green, no. Piazza, no. Man, this one's tough. I'm gonna plug in Rondell White. We'll see if that was right. If it wasn't, I'll kick myself looking at the answers. Hey, it worked. I wasn't just making things up. Oh yeah, Soto. Forgot about Soto. I'm an idiot. All right, yeah, Soto. I should have at least mentioned. Um, I instinctually just don't think of current players because I kind of know. I kind of know that the majority of people playing this game are going to do pretty well with them. But also B, I think I'm actually better. um, at non-current players. Like I just remember the slew of teams they were with. Whereas with baseball, now I don't know, maybe it's just adulthood, but I'm just like I know who players are generally with in the season they're with, and then in the season that they are with them, and then like the next season I'm like, oh, where's everyone at now? And I don't keep up with it nearly as well. Let's see, because my big miss, if you want to call it that, was the top right, but I named them all. So Harper took 63%, just a math problem, really. Harper took 63%. Guerrero took 24%. That means Soriano was the optimal pick. Alfonso Soriano's 2006 season was the optimal pick for 40 home runs. He had 46 in 2006, and that would have been 13%, which is the best I could have done there. So interesting to me that that just goes to prove whichever content creator it was that 2006 was a forgotten season. I'll make sure to find that video and include it in the description. It's a great video, and I'm just forgetting if it was. I think it was either Foolish Baseball or Jolly Olive. If it wasn't one of those two, I'll make sure to credit the correct content creator in the description. Um, let's just for fun, let's see if I hit all these. Um, Daryl Evans, I forgot. I think that was it. Daryl Evans. Oh, and Davy Johnson. I didn't click on it, but all them and Henry Aaron all hit 40 home runs in the 1973 season. So check that out. I think it was the first and maybe only time that a team has ever had three players hit 40 home runs in a season. Davy Johnson had the all-time record for second baseman. I think Marcus Semien just broke a couple years back. So yeah, this was a fun one. Once again, I'll include those links in the description. Appreciate everyone tuning in, and have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Have a good night.